Atlanta. You're tuned into SNN Primetime News. Breaking news tonight from our studios: lawmakers are ramping up their scrutiny of Shine after it confidentially filed to go public last week. One congressman who sits on a key committee is even threatening to pursue legislation to bar the retailer from trading if the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission doesn't reject its application. Representative Blaine Luetkemeyer, Republican Missouri, issued a video address Tuesday saying Shine warrants extreme caution from regulators, customers and investors as the fast fashion powerhouse sets the stage to start trading on U.S. exchanges as soon as next year. In an interview with CNBC, he contended the SEC needs to do their job and prevent Shine from trading on U.S. exchanges because of allegations the retailer uses forced labor and exploits U.S. trade laws. Urged the SEC to apply maximum scrutiny to Shine's business and management before letting it anywhere near our capital markets, Luetkemeyer said in the video, viewed by CNBC. Accessing U.S. markets and capital is a privilege and we rely on the SEC to root out undeserving companies, he added. I sincerely hope the officials at the Commission will review Shine to ensure American capital does not fund crimes against humanity. Luetkemeyer suggested to CNBC that Congress could take a number of other actions to crack down on Shine if the SEC allows its public offering to move forward. They include legislation that would block Shine from trading in the U.S. or bar its shipments from coming into the country. Everything's on the table, let's put it that way, and I think we'll see what action Shine wants to engage in, said Luetkemeyer. Luetkemeyer sits on the newly formed and GOP-controlled House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party. A legislative aide told CNBC the committee's chairman, Representative Mike Gallagher, Republican, Wisconsin, shares Representative Luetkemeyer's concerns about companies gaining the benefits of America's capital markets despite clear and present concerns about human rights abuses and national security risks. Gallagher is also interested in pursuing reforms to the trade loophole known as the de minimis provision and expanding enforcement of the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, the aide said. The committee is investigating Shine over its use of forced labor and de minimis probes that are ongoing, Luetkemeyer said. Under the de minimis provision, packages valued under $800 are not charged import duties and aren't subject to the same oversight from U.S. Customs, which is tasked with screening packages to ensure items from banned regions don't come into the country. Shine often ships its products directly to American consumers through its network of Chinese suppliers, which allows it to typically avoid that oversight. The company has said it supports de minimis reform but has not detailed what those changes should look like. We want to make sure that we get to the bottom of this and expose what's going on and document it in a way that the SEC can't ignore, said Luetkemeyer. The Republicans' push to bar Shine from trading in the U.S. comes as lawmakers from both parties ramp up their criticism of the Chinese-founded retailer. Representative Jennifer Wexton, Democrat Virginia, also called for more scrutiny of Shine. She said in a statement last week that lawmakers must take action to hold Shine accountable because products made from forced labor have no place in the American marketplace. While the IPO filing has sparked more scrutiny of Shine, it is unclear whether the full Republican-controlled House or the Democratic-held Senate would have enough support to pass a bill restricting the company's ability to trade or do business in the U.S. Luetkemeyer said the concerns around Shine are not partisan issues and he expects legislative action against the company would have wide support. Last week, people familiar with the matter said Shine has confidentially filed to go public in the U.S. and could be ready to start trading next year. The company, last valued at $66 billion, has enjoyed a meteoric rise in recent years, but it's facing increasing scrutiny from lawmakers who suspect the company is able to offer its low prices because it uses forced labor and exploits de minimis. It has spent the better part of a year on a charm offensive in an effort to reverse those narratives and win over regulators and Wall Street. Shine has said in the past that its inventory-light business model and its ability to spot burgeoning trends drive its low prices. But it has acknowledged that some of its raw materials have come from banned regions known for forced labor. SHEIN has a zero-tolerance policy for forced labor. We take visibility across our entire supply chain seriously, and we are committed to respecting human rights. To comply with US law, we require our contract manufacturers to only source cotton from approved regions. As of November 2023, only 1.7% of our cotton tested positive for unapproved cotton, a Shine spokesperson told CNBC. According to global supply chain tracing firm Oratane, these amounts are much lower than the industry average of 14%, the spokesperson added. In infrequent cases when cotton from unapproved regions is detected, we take immediate action such as suspending production, halting shipments to the United States and removing US product listings. When asked if those shipments are also halted and removed from product listings in other parts of the world, a Shine spokesperson said, "Our policy is to comply with the customs and import laws of the countries in which we operate." The US has banned the import of cotton and other products made in Xinjiang, China, since 2021 because of evidence of genocide, torture, and forced labor against the Uyghur ethnic group in the region. Other countries have not yet implemented the same kind of regulations.
Wells Fargo CEO warns of severance costs of nearly $1 billion in fourth quarter as layoffs loom. Wells Fargo CEO Charlie Scharf said Tuesday that low staff turnover means the company will likely book a large severance expense in the fourth quarter. "We're looking at something like $750 million to a little less than $1 billion of severance in the fourth quarter that we weren't anticipating, just because we want to continue to focus on efficiency," Scharf told investors during a Goldman Sachs conference in New York. That expense is an accrual for worker layoffs that Wells Fargo expects to make next year, according to a bank spokeswoman. The company declined to say how many jobs it will cut. Wells Fargo needs to get more aggressive managing headcount because employee attrition has slowed this year, Scharf added. Wall Street leaders, including Scharf and Morgan Stanley CEO James Gorman, have said that unusually low attrition among their workers has left them bloated. The industry has been cutting jobs in the past year as it deals with rising funding costs, a prolonged slump in Wall Street deals, and concern over loan losses. Wells Fargo, the fourth biggest U.S. bank by assets, was already among the most active in laying off workers this year, thanks in part to its retrenchment from the mortgage arena. The bank has cut about 11,300 jobs so far in 2023, or 4.7% of its workforce, and had 227,363 employees as of September. Scharf spoke of needing to both get more efficient while continuing to invest in revenue-generating areas including credit cards and capital markets. The bank is not even close to where it should be on efficiency, Scharf said. Under previous leadership, employees had fanned out across the country. Now, Scharf wants them near one of the bank's office hubs. Some workers will be offered paid relocations, while others will only be offered severance. Workers who don't opt to move may lose their roles, according to a person with knowledge of the situation. While his actions point to caution for next year, Scharf said Tuesday that both consumers and businesses were holding up well, and that his base case for next year is closer to a soft landing for the U.S. economy. Wells Fargo shares fell more than 1% on Tuesday. This is SNN Primetime News, where the heart of the news is right here in our community. Stay with us.